Good Monday morning. I hope you're doing well. Had a great weekend and looking forward to an exciting week. I'm Mike Courtney, and on Mondays I take just a minute to share a thought or two about whatever it is the thought happens to be about. Today it's pretty random. I have a lot of interesting things going on right now. I'm doing some research for a message that I'm speaking next week on a very culturally controversial topic, I guess. And out of that, I'm going to do a 3-week Wednesday night study at the church where I'm teaching pastor on sexual ethics, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. And but it's kind of has me doing a lot of studying and digging and thinking about that. I'm thinking about you and about this and about Monday Matters. I am preparing some devotionals we're doing a 21-day fast, and each week I write 7 days of devotionals, and I'm finishing that today for the last week of our 21-day fast. Just lots of things where I am producing something, where something's coming out. And that made me think that a part of what I need to do in order to do that is to listen well, particularly to listen to the voice of God. In fact, last Wednesday night, as I taught on Psalm 16 and played this now very popular video clip of David, what's his name? I've forgotten, but a minister who tells a great story about listening to the voice as he's flying a plane and the pilot's incapacitated. It's an interesting video. You might look it up. So, listening. How do we listen? So I jotted down some thoughts about how to listen well. And interestingly enough, this works both for God and my wife, or that close relationship that I want to be better in touch with, more intimate with. How do I listen well? Romans 10:17, Paul writes, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So there's something about my being willing and able to listen that enhances my walk with God, my faith, my confidence in Him. So I jotted down 4 things that I think are helpful, hopefully will be helpful in how to listen well. The first is learn to lean in. Learn to listen actively, aggressively, leaning in, participating in, being connected to. When Doris begins to talk to me, if I have my head down and don't look up and still focusing on what I'm doing, I'm not doing a very good job of listening. But when I lean in, when I make eye contact, when I nod and make gestures, that I'm leaning in. Learn to lean in when we listen. And the same thing is true when I'm listening to God. I learn to lean into that, to eagerly participate in it, to nod and make gestures. Sometimes I'm listening to something and I'll say, "Oh man, that's good, God. That's good." Yeah. Learn to lean in as you're listening, to listen aggressively. It's not a passive activity. It's something that takes a lot of effort, a lot of work. So learn to lean in. Number 2, stay open-minded. Stay open-minded. One of the bad jokes about communication is the guy that says, "I'm getting ready to listen with an open mind to this stupid thing you're getting ready to say." Stay open-minded. Don't make up your mind in the first few words that you agree with this or don't agree with this. It's important or it's not important. Doris will have conversations with me that kind of go all kinds of places. And if I stay open-minded, I learn things in that. Stay open-minded. The Lord moves in mysterious ways, and God says things to me and teaches things to me that are I have to be open-minded to hear. It'd be very easy for me to close off and say, "No, God's not in that. God's not trying to tell me something." Stay open-minded. Which leads me to the next thing. Watch what is being said. People who study this say that communication is between 70 and 93% nonverbal. that it's body language, it's facial expressions, it's tone, it's nonverbal. And so watch what is being said. When Doris is talking to me, it's important that I watch. I see, are her shoulders slumped? Is she excited? Is she engaged in this? What's her face saying? And the same thing is true of God. To watch God. God is doing, he's trying to get my attention in all kinds of amazing ways. If I just watch, if I just pay attention to that, and my grandson says something to me, or I see a cloud in the sky, or something happens in a tennis match, and it's a moment where I see God do that. God has done something. Watch what is being said. And finally, then, the last of these four, learn to lean in, stay open-minded, watch what is being said. And the last is be excited about understanding. Be excited about understanding. When Doris and I have a conversation and there's a breakthrough and I finally understand, I'm excited about that. That's great. We have words like a serendipitous moment or an epiphany, when an aha moment, when, I see, I understand. Be excited when God does that for you. Those moments where all of a sudden, I've read this verse 1,000 times, and now, there's a breakthrough. I see that. Be excited about that. Be excited, to be eager and excited to understand. Mother Teresa said, it's interesting, Mother Teresa said, God speaks in the silence of the heart. Listening is the beginning of prayer. I find that I pray better when I listen. I find that I teach better when I listen. I find that I connect better when I listen. And so learn to listen to God and to my wife, or to your wife, or to somebody. Learn to listen. Thanks for listening to this. Be blessed today, and have a wonderful, wonderful day listening to God.